welcome for representing the side of education industry with the expectations of the students. I will introduce to Raju sir. Raju sir is a director of global programs of Lexicon, Mile University. Apart from he is a passionate about building the career of BBA and MBA and every student. So he personally reach out to most of the industrialists regarding the placements and freshers hiring about the colleges, not only for the mile colleges, but whoever students reach out to him, he is always ready to support them. Okay. So welcome Raju sir on this forum, and once again thank you. I will introduce our next speaker, Mr. Amit Sawant, who is representing as an industry side. Actually, he knows what is reality and he will represent the reality side of the industrialist, why companies are not ready to hire the freshers, or what are the challenges in the freshers hiring they are facing in their organization or representing the industries. So Amit Sawant sir is a director of MULTILOGISTICS Private Limited. They works in a supply chain, again international freight management, domestic and international supply chain, and multiple aligned business. So whatever you want to send your emotions, parcels, luggage, couriers to the internationally, especially Raju sir, your students baggage he can send to any universities or any countries from his supply chain systems. Yeah, okay.
Right.
Okay. So purpose of this webinar series, we want to highlight, we want to address the challenges regarding the freshers hiring. It's not only about the challenges. We want to build the campus and industry relations because it's the heart-to-heart connections, real insights from the employers also. And the students, whoever has joined for this webinar, or whoever is listening this recording on our channel, they will have the actionable takeaways. Again, Amit sir, we can expect the hiring trends you are following in your industries. Okay. In a brief, I would like to introduce about Internscope also. Internscope.com. Internscope.com is a specifically built for the freshers hiring job portal. So where student can start their career, they can fill out their career gap, or academic projects they can work out, they can switch their domains. But it is built only for the 0 to 3 years talent acquisitions. And of course, it's the cost effective. We want students to learn by the experience, to learn by the opportunities, to understand the realistic trends. Same here for the companies also, we want to give this cost effective subscription. They can have the good resource pool by building the education institutes connects, and they can get the tried and tested talents in the academic projects. POC or research academics can be done through the academics, and of course they will get the employer branding, whatever we people are working for you. I welcome both of you on the forum again to start the discussions. We want to address the challenges, we want to go with some takeaways. The name Education Industry Connect, expectations versus reality, and again, the reality can create the opportunity. Okay, and we can help the contributing the youth of the nations. So Raju sir, I will address to you first. What are your expectations for the placement of freshers, or what do you expect as an Internscope or as an industry side we should support in the freshers hiring, or students hiring from the BBA or MBA or management side?
So we did a small experiment some time back. We started a concept at our institution that is called a live project. So in a live project, what happens is we have got companies which are basically MSMEs, small businesses, and we decided that our student who is coming into the course in his trimester 1, that is a very fresh student, he will need to work for 2 days with such entity like a small business or an MSME or a family business. So we would normally give them technically a work free day on Friday and Saturday. They were supposed to go to this workplace and they were given job descriptions and they were given reporting seniors. So everything like a normal employee, and they were given certain deliverables. Now the deliverables could be with reference to HR, finance, manufacturing, and so on, depending upon the specialism of each student. So what happens as an outcome of a live project is when you do it in trimester 1 on a week on week basis, you learn a lot of real life situation, and it helps the student is happening in the live project to whatever is happening in the class. In fact, that is one of the major gaps between industry and academia that you will see. So this was one attempt from our side, wherein the minute the student onboards, we put him on the project. So he's actually on the field, he's actually at work, trying to analyze so many different real world problems and trying to gauge as to how the industry solve. He is not in a position, or she is not in a position to solve all of them, but they become more aware of it. So when they start becoming more aware of it, the industry awareness of that particular student from his trimester 1 starts increasing. So this was a small experiment that we did. Normally, as a part of an MBA program, these are things that people will keep on doing. So we are used to a project which happens at the end of year 1, but that is more of a document, more of a paper that is actually submitted for evaluation or not. Why we call a live project is there is also an academic person who is onboarded along with the industry professional with the student who is interning. So you have got the academic, you have got the industry, and you have got the student. So a triad of 3 people who become a part of the live project, thereby making that project more relevant. I hope I have answered your question now.
Yes, sir. Great. So, Lexicon Mile is being an integral part of Lexicon Mile. Also, I know how efforts are taken for making the students as employable. We will move to Amit, sir. Amit, sir, my first question to you: do you hire freshers?
To everyone, first of all, actually, if you see at the situation, I am the person who loves to hire freshers first. Okay, because these are the people who are our future generations. Okay, and unless and until actually someone gives them some experience, it is not possible for them to move ahead with their careers. Okay, so I am very positive about hiring the freshers and creating their values in this corporate world. Okay.
Is there any challenge you are facing in a freshers hiring or onboarding them or training them or anything else regarding the freshers hiring? Any challenge you want to address on this forum here?
Actually, madam, when we talk about the freshers, firstly, the most important problem which I would like to address is that they are not actually ready to do the jobs of the legworks. Okay. If I talk about my small company as a MSME, okay, as sir addressed before, okay, I would really appreciate that people being given the opportunities to make the service count. Okay. But what happens? I am ready to hire a person who is fresh at 30, 35K, 40K per month. Okay. But they prefer sitting in the office and not going out for the legwork, not meeting the corporate people. See, and they are always on a short notice. If someone offers them with a job with a little hike in the salary or show them some dreams, they immediately want to switch their jobs. See, my address to them is, boss, you have to remain on a path, on a skillful path, and learn things which the MSP wants to teach them. And this is the right path. If you go to a top level corporate directly, you will not have the knowledge, you will not have the skill, you will not have the experience what they need. Okay. It is always better that you work from a ground. See, I have been in this service industry from last 25 years almost. I have done the job from the pickup, and now today after 24 years I am the director of the company. Okay. I have actually three more directors working with me in this company. All of we are the people who really trust these fresh people. This is the thing which is lacking in the freshers, as per me.
Okay, so you are addressing the challenge, means the commitment to stay longer time.
Yes.
Teaching the job anonymously.
Actually.
And the consistency you are expecting, because it will add value in their portfolio also, because they
Seriously.
are getting the continuation in the experience. They will build their profile. Of course, there are so many things that can be learned apart from the skill sets and knowledge and academies also, whatever they can learn the experience. Second point.
Actually, sorry to interrupt you. I would just like to address here. See, a company like me, who is an MSME, actually we know our limits as well. I know that I am not Tata Motors today. Okay. And I would not address the students that you stay with me for your lifelong opportunities. But at least you learn the things in, say, a year or 2 years, and then you fly out with your wings. I don't really mind that. Okay. But you have to be consistent with your skills, and your focus should be on your career and what you want to learn, the skill sets which you want to acquire. These are the things which are very necessary over here.
Great. Raju sir, I think you got the message. Second point, sir, like highlighted consistency, accountability, commitment for the longer time, and adopt the skills. You build your profile, means the first 2 years, first 1.5 year job should be adopted as a experiential learning. And as you earlier mentioned, your institute is taking care about the experiential learning for the projects and highlighted assignments there. Okay, but one more challenge Amit sir has addressed, it is the MBA candidate who is having the tag of post-graduation's MBA tagging, and he want to sit at office. So if the person having the degree in a marketing, so he should learn, he should go out of that infrastructure or whatever there, and the role or job role is there. So what you can throw the light on this thought, how we can make these people, students will understand the importance of that particular job role. Say if you say the job role for the marketing person, so he will be getting that much of package, but he has to give the justice to job role by visiting the offshore fields also there. Okay, so can you throw some light on these points which is sir has addressed for this? Yes.
So ma'am, I'll build it from what Amit sir has added. See, the greatest advantage of working with an MSME is the fact that you do not have different compartments. You do not have a compartment called marketing, which is different from a compartment called operations, different from HR, different. So what you can do is, in a smaller version of a business, you can see all functions at one go and the impact that one creates on the other. Now, this is something which is very, very difficult for an MBA student to realize, because if an MBA were to get placed in an XYZ organization, a big organization, at best, ma'am, he will get into a vertical called marketing or sales or HR, and he will never have a 360-degree view of the business. That is what the MSME involvement can give you, or a family business involvement can give. I would prefer that such kinds of engagements happen earlier in the MBA cycle or even in the BBA cycle, so that students have lesser egos, and therefore they would be more open to learning. So any internship or job, for that matter of fact, should not be about how one salary package is greater than the other salary package, but about how one learning element is better or more improved than the other learning element. So somehow learning has gone for a toss and salary has come into the main focus. So there is a term which we normally use in, whenever admissions are going on. And this is a term now the student uses. This is a term even the parent uses. They call it ROI. So what is the ROI on the fees that we are paying? Now, if you compare it to the fees I have paid for my MBA program, it is 3,000 rupees. Now, of course, they are ending up paying more with more expectation, but their connect to the ground reality is very, very vague. So it is very much possible that you will hear statements like मुझे marketing करना है, but मुझे sales नहीं करना. So this is something which is, if you ask a person of my generation, it is something which cannot happen. So even bigger companies, if you look at as big companies like ITC, even if they were recruiting from IIM Ahmedabad, they would have the student follow the typical beat of the ITC brand, in the sense he would have to go through the sales channel, with the vehicle, go and see how the sales are happening, how the recovery is happening for a cool 6 months to a year before he actually sees office. Somehow I feel that element of the importance that should be given to work, which is something which an MSME or a small business can easily provide, has not been indoctrinated into the MBA program. दूसरा प्रॉब्लम ये होता है मैम, मोस्ट ऑफ द एमबीए प्रोग्राम्स आर जस्ट लिफ्टेड और टेकन फ्रॉम सम इंटरनेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी और a national university of great repute without looking at ground realities. In the sense, your reality is you've got a business which is next door. You are not analyzing that business, and you are setting about trying to solve a major world problem or a world business problem. It will not happen. If you learn to solve problems which are in and around, then only you will be equipped enough to solve problems that are, industry. And that is how you become industry ready. So I for one would seek a lot of participation from MSMEs, just because you need to break ego and have the student get his hands dirty on the shop floor, see what is happening, so that, they get a feel of the business, which will in turn help them a lot when they go in for their corporate placements.
Yes, and that's why we took a decision. We took a small step, launching the Internscope.com. So here we invite the MSMEs to publish their job posts, to come on board, hire these interns, whether we understand their requirements, and we counsel the students who are onboarded on Internscope.com as an intern. And we do parenting in 120 hours webinar series program, and I will be happy to share you, sir. In a last week, we have placed 4 candidates in a startup and MSMEs as an internship. Okay, here we do communicate with the companies also, and we communicate to candidate also by doing the counseling. Okay, though salary is less, you are getting good opportunity, you have to grab this opportunity. Okay, and this is one small step forward we are taking. But Amit sir, if me and Raju sir, as Raju sir is pretty much clear about the experiential learning, creating the environment for the students to be the administrative of the organization, not the employee, but the mindset of the business owner. So what kind of opportunity you can offer to our institute students, especially in Lexicon Institute students? They have the MBA candidates in HR, finance, then supply chain also, and even global MBA management program also there. So what do you offer to our students, sir? We are open to address your challenges. We can do our counseling to our students also, and similarly we need your support also to mentor them, to provide the opportunities. What kind of opportunities you can offer to our students? Yes. Over to you, Amit sir.
Actually, madam, I would like to add this here that we are not a very big company, okay, but we are a developing company, and we really need people who are a business analyst, or you can say we need people for sales, we need the people for back office coordinations, okay. And in sales, there are 2-3 positions which we are offering today also. We are, say, on-field sales executive, or say sales coordinator are the people actually to whom we are looking for. Okay. And in back office, if a fresher would like to learn at something which is related to pure exports and imports, see, whatever you learn in the curriculum is always a bookish knowledge. Okay. Daily we are facing some challenges for the custom clearance, for the airlifting, for the sea freight, for the air freight. And we need these people to really understand what the difficulties are and how they should go for it. Okay. And being experienced for 24 years, I have just seen some freshers as well as some experienced people. I would like to point out over here. See, some experienced people like 3 to 4 or 5 years experienced people actually they come up to me. Sorry, we need to learn this. Our boss, you are working for a company like Merck's, you are working for a company like DHL or FedEx. Then why the hell would you like to work with us? We are just a child, we are just a developing company. As sir addressed earlier, actually Raju sir addressed, the main issue over here is that they were working like a horse, like a ghoda, okay? Not looking here and there, just putting up some things on the software and finishing their jobs and taking the highest skills. But they don't know what the industry is. Then they don't know how to build up their own networks. They know the socializing, okay? And how to approach a corporate and how to get the work done from them. How is the follow-up? And what should people do to get the businesses from the corporates? These all things we teach over here, and we will surely guide them. If someone is really enthused about his job for an MSCB, we are the people who will guide them. He just needs to give his time to us, and we will definitely show his dream career to him or her, whatever it is.
Sure, sir. Raju sir. Sir has already declared he has the multiple positions, like if you say MBA HR, MBA Supply Chain Management, MBA Finance also, and Sales and Marketing also. So, sir is open to how the opportunity for our students. I request you, we can take it ahead and we can support both sides from the education and industries as the recession is going. And I always tell all the students, whether there is a AI, whether there is a co-pilot, whether there is a chat GPT or whatever it is, sales and marketing career will not be dying, finance career will not be dying, and HR career also will not be dying, because where people are working, you need HR. Where processes are happening, you need finances. Where businesses are happening, you need the finances. And third one, the most important soul of the business, that's the marketing and sales. So we have the good exposures for our students. So thank you, sir, for enlightening all the addresses. But I would like to address Raju sir. What do you feel? What are the current trends are hiring used in hiring process? As you communicate with multiple industries, and you may observe with the different segments and students positioning in front of them as MSMEs as well as large companies. As I know, Lexicon students are placed from small company to international companies with the higher packages also. So what are the common trends you want to highlight so that our students also can learn and they can adopt those trends in their curriculum also and learning also? Yes.
One thing that you rightly mentioned, ma'am, is the core of any business, as you said, you said it is marketing and sales, but the core of any business has to be what is the impact that you create on people. And any impact on people cannot be created by an artificial machine, or for that matter of fact, anything which is not human. Till this point of time, you do not have AI that can actually replicate a human. Maybe at one point of time it will come. So what are the trends that we are seeing is, ma'am, say for example, when you have conventional roles like marketing, we also have non-conventional roles like marketing analytics, wherein people are need to have a knowledge about looking at a big data and trying to draw out a figure or trying to draw out a pattern in that. So analytics is something which is coming in a major way. If you look at teaching per se and a simple task like assignments, initially it was going to a class, announcing a test, and you could be rest assured that they are writing the test. But now what has happened is you've got ChatGPT, you've got Meta, you've got Microsoft 365. You never know who is actually answering the test, whether it is the machine or whether it is the student. Second thing we have realized is even a simple thing like communication, which was the core of selection for most of the interviews. Most of these AI tools have made communication redundant. So all you have to do is, I need to write a letter to my professor saying I need a holiday on so and so date, and because I am not well and this is my doctor's prescription. So it will print out something for you. You just have to attach. So things like originality in writing is going away. The method of assessment, ma'am, which used to happen earlier, has to now change and become more practical. That is where the MSME involvement comes into the play. So, ma'am, we see a lot of what is called as disintermediation. So we can see a lot of careers happening in analytics. We can see a lot of career happening in the role of artificial intelligence. You can see marketing analytics coming into the play, HR analytics coming into the play, sales analytics. So these are all newer career options. The best part is, ma'am, if you look at a generation which is maybe 35 or 40 plus, they may not be fine-tuned to understand analytics completely. I can see on the overseas market also, in the UK market where we cater to, there is a lot of opportunities available in analytics which the people from UK cannot handle because they do not have the right resource pool. So they depend on our students to do that. So whenever you have got newer technology coming into the play, I would expect BBAs, MBAs, and all fresher students to be well versed with that, so that they become the technology faces of the business. So, initially making a presentation would take hours and hours of time. Now, if you do a presentation with, something like AI, it is minutes. Initially, writing a research paper meant you would go to the library and read a research paper which was 15 minutes. All you have to do now is download, tell ChatGPT to summarize, and it comes to you in 5 minutes. So if you ask what is the skill set that they have to build up, it is more access to technology, knowing these tools well, so that now something like prompt engineering becomes very, very pronounced as compared to the ancient marketing, sales, finance, and so on. So anything pertaining to technology is the market of the future.
Great, sir. Great. So students, it's open to you now. You can raise your questions. You can get the insights from Raju sir also. So sir, here are the students who are from engineering backgrounds, who are from BCA and even BBA, BCS backgrounds also, including BA, BCom, MBAs are also there. Okay, and I proudly will say you, one of student from Internscope.com is working as an assignment business analyst from USA also to cater her projects in academics. Okay, so that is a success for the Internscope, what we want to build the youths. So over to you students, you can raise your questions, anything. One more challenge before raising the questions I would like to address, sir. There is a trend, maximum students are doing the graduation and they are applying for the immediate MBA. So what observation you found on these trends? Means
is that question to me, ma'am?
Yeah. What observation you found it in it?
So, ma'am, if I were to just give you an example of international studies, ma'am. Initially, ma'am, any program in the UK or the US would mandate that an MBA would require to have a work experience of 2 years before he applies. And that was mandatory. I mean, it had to be on paper, it had to be recorded evidence. Only then the student would be eligible to write the test which would be required for an entry into a foreign institution. But now what is happening over the last maybe 4 to 5 years is, markets are expanding. So you can see a lot of Australian universities in Gujarat because there is an Australian-Indian tie-up that has happened. Now, as a consequence of that, ma'am, every university anywhere now is trying to approach and get into other countries in order to have more and more students. So international studies, which were so remote or less at a point of time, would become more and more predominant. And any university which is specializing in any core competency, people would be applying there in order to get the best possible value for money. So one trend change that we can see is, initially, because of this restriction of 2 years of work, which was nice because people would get work experience and then they would become better managers. Since that was ruled out in order to have greater access to markets from Asia, now what you are seeing is, even internationally, you have students who may not have the right industry exposure and who are becoming postgraduates. So that is a problem. But then you have got access to the world market, you have access to world universities. It has become comparatively easier to take part in any international program.
Great. So I will open the forum to question and answers. Students, you can raise your questions to Amit sir or Raju sir, because being in degree students, you may need both assistants to have admission in MBAs or opportunities in MSMEs working with the supply chain management or fleet management companies. Yeah, so you can address your questions here. Okay, so this will helpful for anyone you are addressing question to experts here. Okay, आपका लेक्चर impressive हुआ है. There is no question in forum and really we got clear insight. So for me also, MBA perspective, there is a MBA getting down in the colleges and taking the admissions and getting the degrees completed. But what is the inside and outside, that you have explained very well, very clearly mentioned all the things. Lexicon Mile Institute is also taking care of the building the future of youth. Amit sir,
if I can just come in for a second, ma'am. You see, in business, you have something called an opportunity window. It opens only for a second and closes. That is how opportunities are in business. So now, what I am finding strange, which is a very peculiar quality of this generation, is I think we have about 20 plus students who are there, and you have got one professional from the industry who is actually running an industry, and you rightly said that there are a lot of engineers there. But after a 45-minute odd interaction, there is not even one question.
Yes.
So that is something which is slightly disturbing. So what happens is, when people do not question, that basically means they are accepting everything on face value, which is not what is expected of a future generation.
True. Yes. Thank you, sir. I will invite to ask the question Shailendra sir. Shailendra sir is a renowned business owner in IT industry also, and thank you sir joining us in the audience. So welcome to this forum. So you can add your opinion or you can ask your questions to Raju sir or Amit sir also. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. No, so just I'll correct, ma'am. I was with Symbiosis till recently as a head of their School of BFSI. Now I'm on my own, and I'm in the same area as preparing students basically for internships and placements, right? So one of the challenges that we face is definitely, I think, what Raju sir pointed out just now, that the level of seriousness, commitment, attentiveness, right? and that probably the fire in the belly. The current generation, I think, takes a lot of things for granted. So I know I'm generalizing and it's not fair, but I still find that about 15 to 20% students are very serious, very capable. It's very important to identify those students and put a lot of efforts in them. Obviously, we need to put efforts in all the students because it is our responsibility. But definitely, if some efforts are made to identify the right kind of students, I think the industry will get good, interns as well as the those who are intending to do a long-term career in the industry. And that's just my feedback. I mean, anything you want to add or anybody has an opinion on that, I'm happy to hear.
Yes, sir, absolutely true. And thank you for adding the values by joining and giving the feedback of these sessions. Yes, okay. So thank you everyone for joining this session. We look forward the industry experts, education experts to come again on this forum. We are also Internscope taking is a small step. It's a growing. It's our small step towards the building the youth and interns and candidates, and we all three can do together. So let's shake hand and take a next step forward. Yeah, okay. So thank you everyone for this joining this session.